Hey, family, welcome to How Love Works, where we talk about the principles for lasting love. Well, I'm back. Well, I found out just recently, I think about a week and a half ago, that Ready to Love season 3 just started again. And unfortunately, I got myself a little caught up. I'm trying to get myself together here because I'm going to be retiring this year, or at least by the first of next year. And so I got myself a little bit too busy trying to get some work done. And so I would like to apologize for that. I should have did I think the mixer that came out last week. And then I think 2 days ago, they had one of their first full episodes. I think it was episode 3 of season 3. And I saw the mixer, and I also saw the other episode as well. So with that being said, I'm gonna go over these names. I wrote them down quickly so I wouldn't forget them. I have Troy, AJ, Jason, Joel, Derek, Chris, Christian, Khalil, David, and Ronald. Those were the 10 gentlemen. I was shocked to see that Chris was invited back from the last season. Glad to see that. I like Chris. And then you have Ida, Amber, Kyra, Trisha, Alex, Chrysanthemum, Bernicia, Liz, Stacy, and Andrea. I guess you guys already know if you saw the mixer. Uh, I think it was Khalil. He ended up being removed the first day, and then Christian himself also was moved. Uh, I'm not shocked by those two guys. I like both of the guys. I think they were really good guys. Unfortunately, the world we live in, if you don't get everyone's juices moving, they think of you in ways that are not as attractive as you might be. Unfortunately, in this setting, you don't get an opportunity to spend as much time and to make the biggest impression as you might have with a young lady. So you kind of have to come out the gate really blazing. And if you don't, or if you don't have aesthetically great looks, you may not be able to do such a great job. So, with that being said, unfortunately, those two young men they ended up uh, moving on into the sunset. And I can say the same thing for on the ladies' side, which you saw, two women were removed. I think when they actually started mingling and having their first full episode, which was 2 days ago on Friday, you had Ida, who I thought was somewhat of when I first listened to her, she seemed to be kind of spacey. But I think after watching her and observing her, she seemed to be just pretty nervous. And that's how she dealt with relationships, especially with men she was attracted to. And then Andrea, she seemed to me to be kind of spacey herself. She didn't really put a lot of attention into the man. She didn't really seem to be that interested in trying to find out anything about the man in front of her. She seemed to be there and, hey, I'm here, come get me, that kind of thing. And I, I don't think that works anymore. I don't think she had an understanding of the current day dynamics and how dating works today. And her agenda seemed to be kind of spacey, along with the way she responded. So I will say this, that there are 3 gentlemen that I'm going to say right off the top that I like because they are pretty clear about why they are there. The other men, it's kind of up in the air. And it's one in particular that I'm not, I don't even think he's going to make it very long. And that guy is Troy. He's the player. He's the guy that likes to kiss women and all sorts of stuff. He's 51 years old. That guy's not marrying anyone. I mean, come on, let's keep it real. All right. But AJ, he's I call him the music man. He's a producer. But I think, he claims that he's looking for a wife. And I can say, based upon the way he's relating to the ladies, uh, I tend to, so far right now, I'm leaning toward believing what he's saying. The other guy obviously is Chris because he was in the last season and he was definitely looking for a wife because that's what he said. And I can also say the same for Joel. This is the guy who had the wife who passed away from cancer, and he has the two twins, the fluid engineer. And all three of those guys have one thing in common. They seem to really be clear about what they're looking for. Now, the women, on the other hand, all of them pretty much are career women. And again, I have no horse in the race on that. I don't really care about any of that. I think that the most important thing here to notice is that some of the women have to be they have to deal with the situation a little better than what they have been. Because I give you a perfect example. AJ, he went on a date with, I think it was, what's her name? Alex, I call her the news girl. And she was the one that was at one time married to a pastor. Okay. And the problem I had with her was that she was using a lot of sexual innuendo. And I didn't think, because even AJ commented on the fact that, well, wait a minute, you were a pastor's wife and you're using a lot of sexual innuendo. And she seemed to be very aggressive as well. And in that way, you didn't she looked feminine, but she acted very masculine. And that was obviously a turn off to AJ. And a lot of women, I think, were really attracted to him because of his size, his complexion, and the way he carried himself. And I think that Alex, she had an opportunity with him because he did ask her out, but I think that she really turned him off with her aggressive behavior and her over sexualizing everything. Uh, and I think she doesn't have an understanding, even though she was married. But I think, I'm not saying all the women have this mindset, but I am suggesting that you don't want to just be a woman who wants to be married or who wants to be considered a married woman. What you want to be is a man is looking for a wife. Even the Bible says that when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing. Not when a man marries a married woman, he finds a good thing. It's easy, and I don't mean this in a trite way where it's easy to get married, because it isn't. I don't mean that. What I'm saying, it's easier to be a married woman than it is to be a wife, because it's a different mindset altogether. There's a transformation that takes place both on the man's part as well as the woman's part, because you're going from being an independent thinker as a man and as a woman, and you're becoming interdependent. You're becoming one individual. You're learning how to operate in grace and mercy and truth and clarity. And if you're not used to working in that type of environment, because that's what marriage does, it's a very transforming relationship, institution, if you will. And if you're the type of person who has a very difficult time being authentic, uh, and you seem to have an adversarial type of mindset, and you have an independent streak, I will tell you, love cannot happen without humility. And marriage, by its very design, you have to learn how to be humble, meaning you have to be able to operate within the context of your limitation. In other words, you know what your limitations are, and you don't act beyond that. You recognize that you're not entitled to anything just because you're in the room. You have to learn that you want to be in a relationship so that you will be able to give your all. and be your all in a relationship. It's not just about you. And unfortunately, today, that's where we are. Everybody is about themselves. And so, if you just want to be a married woman and you want to be a career woman and you think you deserve everything, and I'll say the same thing for the brother. A lot of brothers want to just be, they want to be in a relationship. They think they high value and all this other nonsense. So they think because they have options. I can go have a second woman on the side and all this other nonsense. If you want to do all of that, go ahead and do it. No one's going to stop you. You can do it. But so that's some pagan nonsense. That's for pagans. Now, I think that if you want a relationship that's going to enhance your life, that's going to enhance the life of the individual in your life, that you can invest in and get some serious lifetime returns on and be able to contribute to the world and the people around you, then you have to be humble. You can't be someone that's prideful, someone that's entitled, and someone that's arrogant. And that's what I look for when I see how each individual in this group, how they interact together. When I see a lot of pride and arrogance and entitlement, and I see aggression and I see people concealing what they really need to, they're concealing what they really believe and think. I see nothing but red flags. I don't see what is required in order to have the kind of relationship you need. And if you have that kind of attitude, like I said, those two things I tell my wife, PEA, pride, entitlement, and aggression, or pride, entitlement, and you feel like, or arrogance, that's kryptonite to love. That's just kryptonite to love. I feel fortunate that I have someone that I've been in love with for now 40 years, that I've shared my life with. I look back and I see all the beauty that we've been able to create. But we're going to go forward. And that's all I have to say right now. We're going to look at the next one going forward. And that's my time. I thank you for yours. Catch you on the other side. God bless.